Hello, everyone, and welcome to our eLotus webinar today. My name is Donna Chow, and I will be your host and your moderator for today's class. For over 2 decades, eLotus has been your trusted source for TCM continuing education for acupuncturists. We offer the largest selection of online CEU courses with over 3,000 CEU hours. If you are new to eLotus, remember to sign up for an eLotus account today to receive a free 1 CEU course as a welcome gift. This offer is valid for new accounts only. Is your license up for renewal soon? No worries. We've got you covered with our acupuncture CEU bundles. Fulfill your CEU requirements quickly. We currently have bundles for California and CCAOM, Florida, and Texas. This weekend, we'll be hosting a 2-day training with Aaron Zizoff on the 6 channels and 1 easy acupuncture protocol that works. This full class will feature mathematical rules to make your practice easier and a comprehensive presentation on the connections of the channels to all the organs and tissues. We hope to see you there. Before we get started with our webinar, let me give you a quick introduction of Aaron. Today's webinar is Intro to 6 Channels and 1 Easy Acupuncture Protocol. It is a preview of what to expect for this weekend for his full weekend class. Aaron completed his graduate studies in acupuncture, herbal medicine, and shiatsu in 2004 from Meridian College, located in Tel Aviv, Israel. He specializes in gynecology and Chinese cosmetology and is taught at leading colleges in Israel. He currently teaches professional workshops and courses in Israel and Europe in Chinese cosmetology, tongue diagnosis, and Chinese astrology. Okay, let's go ahead and welcome Aaron. And Aaron, can you go ahead and take over from here?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. First of all, it's been a while. I'll just open the presentation. Just please let me know if you hear me well and if you see me well.
Yes, we can hear and see you well. Hi, Aaron.
Okay, hi. Let me just, okay. So I understand that I can't see all participants, but through the chat, you can just write me anything, any question, any request, anything on your mind. So I will just do this. I will just change my way of viewing, and I think that's about it. So we can start. So hi, everybody. Thank you, Donna, for the introduction, and thank you again for inviting me. On this lecture today, well, we have like 1 hour. It will be like, just the beginning of all of I have to say about this amazing topic, which actually made my practice much, much easier in a way. It's, of course, it's all about how to look on acupuncture and how to look at our practice on the most, on the easy way. We got used to learn Chinese medicine. I studied 4 years of Chinese medicine, like the basic school, and just memorizing lots of points and point functions. And after years of practice, I really understood that just to memorize, not even protocols. Sometimes in TCM, we can see that there are many protocols, but just to memorize them, it's quite a problem, because if you don't remember exactly, you just don't understand the whole picture. And it was important for me to understand the different levels of meridians. Obviously, we learn about them, but to make the connections in a way that it will be easy for us to practice. And again, mostly when we see many patients, I see an average 120, 30 patients in a week. Some days are really busy, and if I'm not focused on the patient's condition, and not all the time I have, 1 hour for questionnaire. So I need to find, I had to find a way to make my practice easier without, I won't say thinking, because we need to think all the time in the practice, but when we have the roadmap, it's much easier. And again, as Donna said, acupuncture is mathematics. It's like mathematics. Well, in high school, I wasn't so good in mathematics, but when I got to Chinese medicine to understand this whole way of great medicine, I understood that there are rules, and it's not always just on the philosophical aspects of the points. I mean, the ancient Chinese, those who kind of developed this great medicine, they had insights which we not necessarily see in our basic studies. Of course, when we go through the different books, the Su Wen, the Nanjing, the Ling Shu, the I Ching, all these books, basically they represent all this great knowledge, but there's lots of information there, and we need to find a way, easy way, and it's not all the time so in the order that we can immediately just take something out of it and put it into practice in the clinic. So so again, my aim is basically to demonstrate and to show you during this weekend what is my way of practicing these days. And the last 18 years, I've been through lots of, we'll say, different levels of understanding the materials. And this is what I want to share with you. So, okay, just one thing. So on the course, today again, it will be a brief of the main, like I chose some of the slides, which of course we'll use during the weekend course. But again, for me, it's to show what I'm going to talk about during this weekend. So first of all, the first day, the part one, will be about the different pathways according to the 3 levels. So we have the yuan, the yin, and the wei. We have the 5 phases or elements and their opening points. Here, it's to understand how we make this connection of the different levels of the 5 elements, and of course how we can see that in the Chinese clock, the biorhythmic clock. So I will just start some of the introduction. Let me just something. I just want to work just to change this. What I see. So, you know, in the practice, we can use many different systems, many different methods. Of course, TCM, Tan and Tong and Scalp, abdominal, stems and branches, 5-element, Japanese, Sujok, Tuina, Shiatsu, reflexology. I think I use some of each of these, of all of these, and I believe some of you who are watching this also kind of wondering, okay, which system I should work with this patient. Maybe Tan or like balance method will be good. In other cases, maybe just working with the Binomials or with the map, with astrology map or stems and branches or specific points, which are opening on certain times, and maybe scalp is better. So again, we can use many of these systems, and you know, we can use, of course, the understanding of yin and yang and all the 8 principles and trigrams and the 6 climates and trigrams and hexagrams, and basically all we use 5 elements, stems, branches, numerology, feng shui, all meridians. They are all basically will work and quite well. And of course, depending on how we use them, when we use them. And they're all based on the same principles. Okay, the basic principles of the books that I just mentioned, the Su Wen, Ling Shu, Nanjing, I Ching. All these books are very important for us to understand, but we need to find a clear way to practice them or to use them in our practice. So when a patient comes to us, we see that there's a problem. With this problem, we need to find a certain way to understand what's the location of the problem. So the patient comes with a specific pain or some illness, internal illness. We want to understand how we want to help. So what is the function of the system? Is it a muscle? Is it a nerve? Is it blood circulation? Is it emotional issues? So which system it sits on? How much time the patient has this problem? The effect on other systems. Eventually, we need to decide on which meridian we need to work on, because this is our way. And it's not specifically, I will even say, it's not that important to choose. Of course, points are important, and different points have different functions. But it's not just, okay, I remember what large intestine 4 is working on the face. Okay, of course, it's very strong point for the face and for the head, but on which case? On all cases, all headaches, all migraines will be good, or maybe not. So if I know what is my path, I will know and I will understand, by understanding the whole structure of the meridians, I will know, okay, so large intestine 4 will be good in certain conditions according to the channel that it goes through. Okay, I will talk about it, of course. So the first part of making the diagnosis, we need to collect all the symptoms by inspection, listening, smelling, inquiry, palpation. I will go through that more deeply on the weekend course, but after that we need to make the differential diagnosis. Okay, etiology, location, nature, and then to decide about the specific treatment which is needed in that case. Okay, there are many options. You know, I always tell that like I have a toolbox and I need to choose which specific tool is good for this patient or that patient, for this condition or other condition. Just today, this morning, I had like 30 patients, and one of them was asking me, okay, he came with the trigger finger, okay, just trigger finger that after, I don't know, 3 treatments, no improvement yet. So, you know, he doesn't have the time, like, he doesn't have enough patients, that patient, and he's asking me, okay, so what should I do more? Should I try other techniques, other methods? So we need to understand, if we work only with acupuncture, if we use shiatsu or tuina, we need to understand what will be the best benefit for the patient and for how long it takes. You know, 3 things are many patients are interested in 3 things. Can you help me? How long it will take and how much it will cost? Okay, I see that all the time. Actually, I heard that Jimmy Yen, a great lecturer that I did one of his courses here in eLotus, he mentioned that, and I was, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So first of all, does it work for this kind of case? So for that case, okay, I know acupuncture should help the trigger finger. I had another patient with hair loss, quite young guy. He's like 20 years old, and he's like massive hair loss that he's having. So, okay, he came for acupuncture, but I told him, you know, diet and herbs will be much beneficial for you for this specific case, because you have lack of materials or substances. So in order to strengthen the body in a better way, so we need to use herbs too. And the treatment is based on the herbs and the diet, but acupuncture is again to navigate the chi to the different locations. Okay, so a patient comes with some clinical signs. We need to understand the Western pathophysiology, because usually patients will come after they visited the doctor, like the Western doctor. And we need to understand which systems are involved. Okay, so is it orthopedic? Is it flip disc? Or is it, I don't know, a nerve issue, or just muscle, which are too loose and the body is not strong enough to hold everything? So we need to understand that, but then we need to think systematically and to translate this information to Chinese pathophysiology, and to understand which system is involved, and then acupuncture or any other system which we think might be beneficial for the patient. So again, if we do that in, usually I use this drawing on my, the intakes and the questionnaires, and I tell the patient, okay, just write down or just make X, or where you have the problem. So for me, it's first of all to understand which path. If they mark all the places, so I need to decide, okay, which meridian system is involved, first of all, or is it internal organs? And of course, what is the treatment principle, which points to use, according to that. And again, we don't need so much time to do that, because if the patient is telling you, let me just make a marker here. If the patient tells you, you know, I'm like, my pain is, where is the drawer? Okay, drawer. So the pain is here. Okay, this area is very painful for me. So immediately I need to think, okay, which meridian goes here? If it says that it goes also inside, so maybe except the bladder meridian, which is on the upper back, maybe kidneys are involved also, like as internal organ. If the pain goes down, I need to understand on which channel. Does it go on the side, or does it go from the back forward? Okay, this is like the basic understanding for me. And eventually, you know, the lecture is called like one easy protocol. So eventually I don't want to mix all the meridians in each treatment. I want to be very focused on the treatment, the best treatment that will help the patient in that case. So of course we need to understand the basic structure. And on the course, obviously, I will go through the different sections. Just, okay. Let me just, okay, yeah. I need to clear all. So when I understand the path, I know how I can start balancing. So those of you who use balance method, as the Dr. Tan like made it or organized this system, so he's talking about this, used to talk about this, but the method is about this. But it's not just this, okay? We have other ways to understand all the structure of the meridians. So in this specific, let me just make it larger. Just 1 second, I'm sorry. Okay, so this structure of meridians, basically the ones that we know are based usually here. It's called the stem branch constitution energy, but we know the different meridians. Okay, so we have the gallbladder meridian, we have the liver, we have small intestine, heart, stomach, spleen, and so on. Okay, so we have different meridians. I will talk about this table later on, obviously on the course deeply, but I will explain that. But we understand that we have the 8 extra meridians, and we have the different 12 meridians over here on this table, but we need to find the different connections. So here we also have the 4 C's, okay, up here, the 4 C's, and again, we have many connections that if we understand how this whole structure is built, so we have the ability then to make a better treatment with the different understandings, how it starts, where it starts, and of course, according to that, to see what else we need to do. Okay, if I don't delete it, so it will affect also the other slide. So it takes me just a few seconds to do that. Okay, so of course we need to understand the meridian structure. According to that, the 3 levels of meridians and their pathways. Okay, as I mentioned, if I want to talk about specific level, so it all starts with the Yuan Qi, with the constitutional Qi, and just from this level, like the deepest level, all the Qi comes up to the. So here we have the 8 extra meridians. Then we go up to the Yin Qi, the blood and fluids, and all the different indications of this level. Here we have the connecting, the Luo meridians. We have the Zhang Fu organs on this level, and we have the 12 main meridians that goes through the Yin Qi level and the Wei Qi level, the protective Qi. And here we have, of course, all the different indications for this. I won't go too deep into this now. Here we have the cutanus, 6 cutanus meridians. We have the 12 TMM meridians. And we have the connection of 12 divergent meridians that connect the Wei Qi, or like Wei Qi level and Yuan Qi level. So, of course, I'm going to talk about each one of these levels and their specific meridians, and how they are all connected to each other. Okay, but this is the basic structure. If I want to go on constitutional energy, I will start working with the 8 extra. Or if it's things which are connected to the aging, I work a lot with the cosmetic acupuncture. So when we want to get to the deepest level of cell memory and healthy aging, I will start using these extra meridians. If I want to work on the postnatal energy, I will work on the Yin Qi, again, on the different meridians that I can use here. Okay, so just for an example, for the 8 extra meridians, again, I will talk deeply about each one of them. I'll just show here the Dumai level, which is, again, we have the different pathways. So we need to understand, sometimes we just tend to forget because we remember only the primary pathway, but we forget that we have different branches that can lead us to internal places and organs, and sometimes to make these connections, it's important to remember that. So of course, for each of the meridians, we have the opening points for extra meridians, where the meridian starts, where the Luo starts, the Luo meridian meeting with other meridians. So we have Ren 1 and Ren 24, organs which are connected, and the path. Okay, so again, if I want to work on the brain or on the bones, Dumai might be a path or meridian which I might use, of course. So the different influences and glands which are connected, ovaries, for example, it's very important for all the hormonal aspects when I treat with fertility. So I want to understand which of the different meridians will be more specific to the hormones I want to stimulate. Okay, so this is just an example for the Dumai and the different activities or the things that the Dumai is responsible for. So again, we don't have enough time to talk about all this, but we'll go through all the 8 extra meridians in this way, more deeply for each one. If we'll take the 12 main meridians, so I chose here the stomach meridian for an example. So again, the same idea to understand the different pathways through the primary channel, the Luo, the divergent, the TMM, and as Dr. Tan did, is to make the connection to even the specific, even to the specific muscles, okay, which I use it a lot in the clinic because many times when patient, of course we can see that through the TMM, but when we see the exact muscles, we can relate that to the diagnosis patients come with. Many times after they went to the, from orthopedic consultation, they will have specific location. And many times I just use the understanding of this. After a while, again, when you understand the pathway, where the channels go through, so the treatment will be much better. And in my way of practice, in most of the cases, I will expect immediate change. Again, depends on what, but orthopedics and pain issues should be immediate change. And it makes the trust with the patient much stronger. Okay, and then they can make this process of routine treatments as much as we'll describe, or as much as I will guide them in the way to healing, okay, to the healing process. Because all we want to do, and this is what I tell every patient that comes to me, my aim is just to restore their health. I mean, to help their brain to adjust the healing situation. Okay, many times when they come with the pain issues, well, the most common, I think, in the practice, like globally, they don't really believe that something might help them, especially after they've been through different medicinal drugs and different injections, steroids, or even surgeries. They kind of lose their confidence in their own body, in the ability of their body to heal. And by saying the body, it's like manipulating the brain in a way, and to tell the brain, okay, we can make a change here. And the most amazing thing is that when a patient, for example, also another case I had today with the pain on the shoulder pain. Okay, so the patient suffering, she's like 70 years old, and 2 years ago she had she lifted something, and since then she has pain on the shoulder, and with different stretchings, I understand which, of course, which channel, which meridian, but also which muscles are involved in that. So according to different, locations of moving the hand, in that case, I can understand which muscle system is involved there. And with this, just with a very fast acupuncture, in a few seconds, from 10 degrees angle, she suddenly gets up more than 90 degrees, and she's like, wow, is it a magic? No, it's not a magic. I'm just manipulating your brain. I'm not telling that to them, but sometimes if they're open enough for this. But I'm just telling the brain, okay, open the blockage here. And then when they see this kind of effect, and it's not like me waiting and praying for the next treatment to hear if something was changed, they immediately see a change. And I know that when we continue with the treatments, we can again restore the brain, the body's functions, and the body's ability to heal itself. So when we are organized and not searching every time for a different point according to the different point functions, which point is good for the shoulder? Okay, I can think of which point. Okay, so we have many points, like magic points, but why they work the way they work? This is what I want to understand in the practice. Okay, if I understand where the channel is, I will find different ways. So again, we have we have scalp, we have classical medicine, we have just working on the channels with the TMM or whatever. But when I understand that, the treatment is much easier. First of all, for me, I don't need to rethink all the time of how to find the solution. And again, I get into a routine of treatments, and the improvement is coming. Okay, so this is about this part of the channels. So of course, the main symptoms of stomach, channel, basically channel and organ. And here it's on this row down here, you can see channel stomach. Okay, so we have the opening level, which is usually on the level of the young Ming. Okay, stomach with large intestine, and I think in 80% of the cases, if I want to work on the whole channel, I will open the two Jing Luo points of the channel. So I will start with the stomach 45 and large intestine 1, and then have the concentration point. It's maybe there's another term for this point, but it's a point that actually connects, like kind of meeting point in a way, the stomach and the large intestine, and activates the whole layer or the whole level. So it's stomach 1 or 5 or 8. One of them I will use. Stomach 1 is sometimes a bit difficult for many of the patients because they are too afraid of this. And again, in this, I have different options. Okay, again, I will talk about it deeply, but we have the organ connection. How, if I want to connect to the organ, to the stomach itself, if a patient has ulcer, so which point is good for the ulcer? Okay, now we need to think according to what we studied. Okay, what is good for the ulcer? Or maybe I can go with the strategy of like herbs. So ulcer is like heat or fire, so I need to work on the yin, like stomach yin, if I take it as a syndrome. So okay, all of this is good, but I need to practice it on certain protocol of treatment. So for ulcer, for example, so first of all, I want to get into the organ, because there is a connection to the organ. Not all the points have the junctions that get into the organ itself. So all the young organs will go through stomach 12, okay, except bladder, I think, yeah. So we can get into the organ, but with stomach 30, we can get like these 2 points which connects us to the organ itself. And then if I want to put some energy of water, so I will use stomach 44, which is the water point. Okay, so you have it all here, and later on you will see the whole table of this. But again, I can use the group connection. I will explain what it means, and Luo connecting, or Yuan, or divergent, or meeting TMM. So I have different options of points, and when I have this in front of me, or I understand the structure of what I want to do, I have many options of what I can do in the treatment itself. Okay, so it makes everything quite easy. Okay. Okay, I see a question. Will you open bilaterally stomach 45 and large intestine? Okay, if I will open stomach 45 and large intestine 1, depends. If I have a problem just on one side, so also here it's a bit tricky because the yang Ming is the only channel, like the large intestine is the only channel that goes to the other side. So if, for example, I have, well, I will go just, okay, let me do this here. I will answer this in 1 second. I will just draw something. So if I have a problem here, okay, Bell's palsy, okay, so all the left side is damaged. So obviously we can see, I gave you just a hint for this. So obviously we see which channel goes here. So stomach 45 right here is good. So I will start with this, but I will also use large intestine 1 on the other side, okay, on the right side here in this case, because the channel is going through here. Okay, wait, I will do it. Okay, okay, this way, okay, through the nose. So in this case, I will use like 2 different sides. But if it's, I don't know, if it's gallbladder, if it's on the area of the like temporal heady. So for this, I will use basically temporal is Shaoyan, okay, triple or gallbladder. So I will use the same side. If it's just on this side, so I will use that specific side. If it's internal condition, for example, ulcer, I will use bilaterally for the youngling, stomach 45 and large intestine 1. Okay, this is for your question. I hope I answered it. Martin. Okay, great. So, but of course, during the course, the weekend course, I will talk deeply about all this. So, Luo connecting meridians. Also here, we work on the Ying level, okay, and the different combinations that we have between Luo and Yuan. So we'll go into that also, and divergent meridians, and how they are connected with the Yuan and the Wei Qi levels, and TMM meridians with the TMM points and TMM meeting points. Actually, I had here, yeah, lower meeting point, upper meeting point for the divergent, and again back to TMM. So we go up again with the levels from Yuan to Ying and Wei. So we cover all these meridians. So we have here on TMM like the TMM meridian itself, some motor points, trigger points, ashi points that we can use on those specific conditions. And also we have the cutaneous meridians. I didn't put this slide here, but cutaneous meridians with the all topical applications like gua sha or rollers or moxa or massaging, whatever, everything which will work on the surface of the skin. So this is about these meridians. Then I will talk a bit about the 4 points of all meridian connections. Many times when I don't know what to do and I have too many meridians involved, I can use 4 different points, specific points. I can use some of them or all of them together in order to connect. So pericard 5, for example, is like junction of lung, pericard, and heart meridians, but also has a connection to Yin Wei Mai meridian and Chong Mai meridian. Okay, and the yang aspect of the hands, we have triple Ome 8, which is connection point for large intestine, triple Ome and small intestine with Yang Chiang Mai and Dumai. Okay, same for the legs we have with spleen 6 and gallbladder 39. So we have different options and possibilities by using these points when we want to work on a few meridians altogether instead of puncturing 50 needles in a treatment. Okay. TMM, yeah, K Holland. TMM, tendomuscular meridians. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, okay. So the next slide. Okay. So here in this table, I've put basically all the information which is connected to all the different channels. So every channel with the opening, how to open the level, concentration point, organ connection, more connection in case there are any, group combination, which I just mentioned here on the last slide, connection to the 8 extra meridians, Luo, Yuan source, divergent, meeting TMM, and the 5 element points, okay, according to the condition of the disease or the problem. Okay, so after we'll go through all the meridians, it will be easier to understand this this table. Okay. Another question, Byron. Where can one obtain this chart by itself? It is great. Okay, thank you. You can take a photo right here, you know, by the phone if you want to. But of course, you will get it. I mean, those of you who will join to the seminar, the weekend seminars. So of course, you'll get all the presentation. You'll be able to download it. Okay, but still, you can take a picture right now. So I'll give you 5 more seconds. Or just on the computer. It depends how you watch it. Okay, but okay. So 3, 2, 1. Next one. Okay. Also, we have another ways to look at all the different meridians. So So we have, we didn't do the, okay, anyway. So we have the different levels, okay? We have the tie-in with lung and spleen, we have the yang ming, large intestine, stomach, and this is like a group of, we can call it the energetic factory, the creation of energy from breathing and from food. So usually I will use these meridian groups all together because they have, like they are neighbors or they are family relatives. So I will prefer to keep them, to work on them together in the same treatment or even two treatments, one after another, in order to activate the level, this level or this group. Okay, if we have the Shao Yin and Tai Yang meridians or levels, this is like the cognitive energy, nervous system and brain activity, heart, kidney, fire, water. So this is also, if I want to work on, so again, when I use specific level, it will be easier for me, first of all, to understand that I'm not mixing families now. Okay, I just want to work on this specific family. Okay, so again, we will see how we can activate these groups together. And then we have the Jueyin and Shao Yang, which is like the constitution, the genetics and fertility. Okay, so this is another way of deciding in a treatment, not getting lost in all meridians. Okay, I won't work, usually I will not work on all the meridians together. I will work on the same system because again, it's more logic. We're looking for logic. So because they have this kind of connection, we will work on them together. There are cases like in the on the biorhythmic clock. I don't know if I've put this. No, I don't think I've put this slide here. Maybe later I will see. I think I have it later on. Okay, so this is about the meridian groups. Then 5 phases and their opening points. So we have. Okay, so first of all, we have the different. Wait, just questions just before I move on. Jueyin, Shaoyang fertility, not Shaoyin. Okay, I will, Martin, I will answer that immediately. But Shaoyin, of course, is also Tai-Yin is important for fertility. Depends on what. If I want to work on different glands, so Tai-Yin will be connected. If I want to work on the reproductive organs, so of course, Shao-Yin is connected. But if I want to work on this energy of constitution, so Shao-Yang, Jueyin are more connected also with the, Jueyin, that the liver that goes through the through all the genitals, but there is more important part which I will talk in few minutes. Okay. Of course, I will get deeply into that into the course, but I will answer that. So we have the seasonal energy of the 5 elements to understand how the elements are built. Okay, so on the springtime, we have energy of wood, obviously, and summertime is fire, autumn is more metal, and water on the winter. So this kind of energy can work for us, and in order to understand how, again, eventually is how to help the patient to feel better. But again, different connections that we can make through the different understandings will show us the different, I will talk about the different cycles in 5 elements, so supporting cycle and draining cycle, controlling cycle, and the insulting cycle. Okay, all of these are connected to the way of the treatment, of what we do in the treatment itself, because eventually it's about the availability of each element in certain condition or for each specific patient. I'm running a bit because, and again, because I want to have 15 minutes left. It's moving too fast. Again, about these harmonies of the elements within themselves, we can choose the specific points of 5 elements. And here, actually, Martin, I can answer you here with the 6th element. 6th element, so of course we have wood and fire and you know, all this way of looking. If we look at the Chinese clock, okay, the cycle of the flow of meridians, something that really bothered me for a long time, and maybe you can think of the answer right away. Do you know how you can see the 5 elements in how the flow of 5 elements, which I just show, for example, it might be the controlling cycle or supporting cycle, how it goes in the same aspect, how it goes along with this structure of the Chinese clock. Okay, so we have wood here, fire up here, then earth, then metal, water. I mean, and then pericard and triple. How come the fire comes here? I mean, what's the connection? So I'll give you maybe a few seconds if you want to, if you have any answers. Ministerial fire, yes, that's right, and it has a specific location. Why just here? The fire is here. I mean, why the pericard and triple warmer are located here on this specific location? Any ideas? Any more ideas? So, what I found out recently, a few years ago, is that if you go with the flow of, let me see, just one second, dynamic movement, that's right. So we start with the wood, and then we go to the fire, and then continue with the fire, and then we go to earth, then we go to metal, and then we go to fire, to water, and then continue with water, and then like, it's the water, it's like the boiling water, like the picture I put here, it's like boiling water that gives the ability to the growth of the wood again. And this cycle, like the infinity, the movement, like the figure of 8, this is basically explains the location of Shao Yang on this position, because again, we can consider that and again, actually by the specific locations of pericardium and triple worm and meridians, they have like internal movement which kind of covers all the meridians. They are like the connectors to all the meridians. And again, if you will remember, when later on we will look at the constitutional energy, we will see that all meridians go through like zigzags from the fire, so from each meridian. Maybe I will just, maybe later on, but believe me, it's there. Before we go, when we go between meridians, we go through pericard and triple over. This is by the whole structure of the meridians. Okay, so that's why I've put them here in the constitutional aspect. Okay, so anything? Okay, next one. Next slide. Okay, so we have the biorhythmic clock. So before I was talking about the different groups, but we also can use different combinations according to the relationships that we have, and this is like in balance method. We can use this also in this understanding of we have different connections of opposites which control each other or help each other in a way. We have neighbors which also can have the effect of supporting or helping each others. And we have the layers, the different layers that we can work on. So we have different connections that we can use the biorhythmic clock. Again, if you call it balance method, if you call it any kind of way of working with the flow. So one example here is when we have stagnation in lungs. Okay, many times we can see, even though there's not like a real syndrome like this, at least I couldn't find lung chi stagnation. I don't know, maybe there is since I studied, but when there's stagnation on the lung meridian, people under grief or under sorrow or deep sadness, and they cannot let go. So we have the neighbors. We have the liver on one side, like again on this flow with the Chinese clock, or the flow of the qi and the daytime. So we have the liver, we have the large intestine. One is before, one is after. So we can use different points, such as liver 14, to push. Again, depends what the problem is, but we can use liver 14, which is the end, like the last point on the liver meridian, and lung 1 as the first point. And again, with the sedation or stimulation, we can use different techniques of the needling. And after that, if we want to drain the energy from the lungs, we can use lung 11 on this perspective, and then large intestine 1. This is just to make a flow, like a strong flow of opening the pipes. This is one option. Another option is to use the 5 element points. Okay, so again, I want you to be open to different ways of how to work. Sometimes this will work, sometimes that will work, but when we have the strategy, it's easier for us to decide which kind of treatment. Okay, and again, another example here of heart and gallbladder, for example, as opposites, which sciatic pain, to treat it with the heart, I don't know, heart 7 point, for example, or the area. Okay, so again, we have different points here. So far, it's just the first part. Oh my God, no time. So this is just about the first part. The second day, or maybe, I don't know, depends how it will go. So I will talk about the 4 C's, the opening points of stems and branches, which is, stems and branches is like a big topic. It's possible to study just this for a year or 2 courses, but eventually the most important part of it, as I see it, is just to understand the availability of opening or open points on certain times. So there are cycles of times which can help us to achieve this very strong treatment. It's like 10 times more to use only one point and the right timing. When the point is open, the strong is like the treatment it's worth like 10 treatments, one treatment with the point. So it's not always so easy to invite patients to come at 3 a.m. to the clinic to get the puncture, but I will use some press tech or different points of Acadia. Like I will use some points, different ways of stimulating. I will tell the patient to stimulate the point at certain time, or if it stays on, so the point will be effective on that specific time. So again, it's another way of understanding stems and branches, an easy way, but again, very effective way. So treatment according to binomial energy, which is, I use a lot of Chinese astrology with the Bazi chart, and it's working amazingly, again, on the structure of 5 elements. Chinese numerology, which can help us. Usually it's used in Feng Shui, but I use it also in certain times in order to understand how to help the person to achieve different health issues, mental or physical issues, and also a bit about trigrams and hexagrams. So 4 C's, we have the 4 C's, the energy that we can receive some excess energy and to help it from do 14, for example, to get into this warehouse and to keep it until we need it to distribute this energy to a specific meridian or organ which are deficient. Okay, and then we can use stomach 9, for example, in order to use this C of energy. Okay, same goes for the nourishment. C with stomach 30 to receive the excess from the body, excesses that we have, and to distribute it to the body with stomach 36. Okay, and then brain and bone marrow. C with do 20, do 16, and then the blood with the which real liver is responsible with bladder 11, stomach 37, 39. Okay, so I will talk about it more deeply on the seminar. This is about the 4 C's. Stems and branches. Again, these are briefs, just briefs. So we have 10 stems according to the 5 elements, and then their yin and yang aspect, polarities. We have the 12 branches, which are like 12 animal zodiac, but they are basically the 12 earthly branches, the available energy that we have right here. And according to the specific map of the person, so again, we have lots of information here on these tables. We won't use all of it, but of course you can see it, and you can use it with the connections to deeper energies, with meridians and organs, and even notes, which are actually I'm working on like writing music on different scales, musical scales, according to specific channels. And then I want to send it or to give it to patients as another home care treatment. Okay, so just if there's a problem with the gallbladder channel or kidney organ, so we can use the do, like C, as do, do minor, do major, doesn't matter. But if the music is on this scale, so it will give another energetic aspect for the treatment. Okay, so anyway, there are things that we can understand from this. So the Binorm, according to the stem and branch, to understand this is like equation. Okay, we have like 60 Binorms that we can see them on this cycle of Binorms. This is basically now we cycle of 60, so we can say that, and so we have many Binorms. We just need to understand, like the slot machine in the casino. We need to understand which Binorms we get in our luck chart, and according to this, to see what we work with, what is available for us. And sometimes this availability will be beneficial for us, or sometimes not so much, and it will be against us, depending on the movement or the current cycles of time. Again, it's a big issue, and I'm just going through this quite fast. So constitutional energy. I was talking about pericard and triple warmer, that all meridians obviously go through them in this kind of zigzag movement, which is, wait just a second, mouse, okay. So, yeah, we can see that. Okay, so the energy goes from pericard 9 to gallbladder 44 through the different points of the gallbladder. It's like the important points, like the 5 element points, and then goes to triple aroma 2 and goes all the way through the liver. So when I want to fix some constitutional issues, I will work with these specific combinations. Okay, so I want to treat something on the kidneys, for example. Okay, I will go to kidney. Where's kidney? Kidney. Okay, kidney is here. So kidney is getting the energy from triple aroma 1. So I will go triple aroma 1, kidney 1, and kidney 3 with kidney and with pericard 9. This is like the structure or the protocol. I can use these specific points, kidney 7, 2, or 10, according to the specific condition. But the most important points are those on the sides, okay? Those who are connected. Many kinds of problems on like fertility problems. I will use pericard 9 with triple aroma 1. these are like the 2 points that starting and ending of the cycle. So this is like a restart, actually. So every case of fertility that comes to me, the first treatment, I will use these points with the other combinations that I will use in the treatment according to the diagnosis. Okay, but basically, this is the way I work with this constitutional energy. Okay, so again, this is the importance of pericard and triple warmer on their path of the channels, okay, the internal channels. Okay, next one is the 5-day cycle open points. So basically, every 5 days, these points are reopened. So according to the stem, let me just make this spotlight again. So if we have the GIA or G, these are the stem of the day. So we can see that different calculations online, it's very easy to see that which stem and branch are for this day. So the stem will be considered for the day, and the branch is for the hour. So for example, today we are on the 29th. We need to see which, what is the stem of this day. And according to the hour, so in my time now it's 10 p.m. Okay, it depends where you are in the world, which point is open for you. So for me, just for instance, I didn't check the map of today, but for example, if I'm on the day of GIA, okay, of number 1 here, stem number 1, day number 1, and for me it's like 9 to 11. So lever 4 is the most active right now for these 2 hours. Okay, so this point specifically now will be strong like 10 treatments. Okay, this is the perspectives. Okay. Okay, so here we can see again the energy of the personality in the Bazi chart with the day master. What is the personality? Is it like water person or fire person? Young fire or yin fire, it all depends. So I will talk a bit about this. Again, this is like a whole seminar just to talk about this chart. And then I will, so again, all the relationships between all these places on the map, like Bazi is like the 8 characters, 8 as 2 for each stem and branch. Okay, so there are many relationships here between the Binomial itself, between the stem and the branch of the day, between the stem and the branch, or between the stem of the day and the branch of the hour, branch of, like all connections are here. Okay, just imagine every connection that we have here is affecting some way, in different ways, on the person's perspective or point of view to life, to himself, to his surroundings, and of course with all the health issues, emotional issues, and so on. Okay, so this is about it. A bit about the numerology. So it's about 10 stars and elements, different directions, how we can use this magic square with understanding the different elements and the different positions, and how it's affecting on the different periods. So we have a period of 180 years, which is divided to 60 years periods, and each period is divided to 3 generations of 20 years each. So now we are on the 8th generation, on the 3rd period. Okay, so 2004 to 2023. So on this period, and this generation, so this is this generation. This is like the basic structure of the like 9 palaces, and now we are here. So you see, the palace is the square, that like the colors, the basic colors, which represent the different elements, and the numbers are changing. They change during, again, periods of time, days, hours, years, and decades. Okay, and so on. So depending on what we want to calculate, we need to see if it's suitable or if it's beneficial for the condition of the patient or not, and then how we can manipulate it with, for example, again, the different timings and the perspectives of these timings. Wait, something here is open. Okay. Okay, so the center is number 5 for the basic structure. And according to this, all the other structures. So again, if you want to use extra meridians, how it goes together with 9 stars, for example. Okay. And last part is about trigrams and hexagrams. As much as I will have time to discuss, hopefully we will have some time. So again, in balance method, I Ching acupuncture, there's lots of use with this method and making the combinations between the different trigrams or mostly hexagrams with the different channels or meridians and connecting that to the different issues with the health. Okay, I made it. 6 minutes 6 minutes late, but okay. So okay, this is like a very short brief for all for all the information I want to cover for this weekend. For me, it's going to be basically difficult hours because it will be 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. for me. But it's a weekend. I will rest, and all will be excellent. Okay, so so I hope I don't see you, but I hope to see you and to mostly to hear you and to know you a bit better during the weekend. Okay, so Donna, if you have some other things to say, if you go online. Yes. Great. So I'm done. So basically,
thank you guys so much for attending today's class. Today's webinar has been recorded. So if you like to watch it again, you can log into your eLotus account and find it in our Teaching and Wisdom tube tomorrow afternoon. Thank you again and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Good night. Good day. Bye then.